Hello, my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing really well, and it's really good to have you here. Thank you for being here. So, today's question that we'll be looking at will be, where are your guides leading you? Where are your spirit guides leading you? Where are your earth guides leading you? Where are they taking you right now? Where are they asking you to go? Where are they guiding you towards? So, 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1, which is the rose quartz. Pile 2, which is the blue Aragonite. And pile 3, which is this Topaz. So, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Where are your guides leading you? Timestamps will be in the description box below, and I'll see your reading. Bye. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. So, you chose the rose quartz. Now, rose quartz is one of the master healers. It's a very gentle but powerful stone that is very good at being able to help you align back into your heart space, help you to connect with unconditional love. It's connected to the higher heart chakra, which is one of three energy points that are like, the heart chakra is the main chakra, but obviously one of the main 7, but then there are other points as well. So this rose quartz usually attributes to the more spiritual center, which is higher up in between the heart and the main heart chakra and the throat chakra. So this is kind of going towards your unconditional love for all beings and all things. But I don't know, I feel like this is about you having unconditional love for yourself. I feel like there's judgment that comes, pile 1, in your attitude towards yourself, and maybe your guides are wanting you to take a more compassionate view towards yourself. I'm also getting the idea that despite your flaws, you know, like, love yourself despite your flaws, because you are perfect just as you are. That's what I'm getting. Okay, let's have a look at your card. Okay, so this is the rune Awaz. I think I'm pronouncing that right, and it means horse. So this is about energies working together. How we see the direction and the energy of the horse, and how we ride that horse in a really free and loving way. It's almost like if you temper the horse too much, the horse can't do what it wants to do. It can't be free. And horse spirit is very strong. It was born to be free. So there's something about really aligning with the space of your own heart that encourages you to move forward, or move in whatever direction you aim to go in. I think your guides are asking you to be quite loving towards yourself, embracing your sense of freedom. If you're feeling stuck, then I think that this is important for you to see where you're actually like holding the reins on yourself. But let's see what your tarot wants to say to you. It's really beautiful though, these cards. I love them. Okay. I feel drawn to these cards first. So let's have a look at these. Okay, so we've got third mirror, the surface, perception, identification, and stories. Interesting. Where does pile one's spirit want to lead them, please? Can you let me know? Can you tell me? Where does pile one's spirit want to lead them? Where does the pile one's guide, sorry, your guide. Your guides are working in tandem with your spirit, do you know what I mean? They're working for your higher purpose, so yeah, they're working for your higher purpose. Where does pile one's guides lead them? Where is pile one's guides leading them? Active, reversed. Where is pile one's guides leading them? Okay, I want to pull some astrology for you as well. Where is pile one's guides leading them? I'll just have a look at this card first. Wow. I mean, this is quite interesting because it's almost like I feel that you're trying to hold on to something that you can't really hold on to. You may be identifying with something that really isn't you. Do you know what I mean? Or isn't really what you're after. It feels like you're going against the grain. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to put that like that because that's how it was. That's how we saw it. And I think it's indicative of how things are going. Like, where your guides are leading you is not somewhere that, you know, is an actual, like, direct, I don't know, it's not linear. It's not. Where are your guides leading you? It feels like your guides are leading you to look within and to look at the stories that you tell yourself, to look at where being active disallows you from being able to follow into your true direction. What I mean by that is busyness. Sometimes, you know, people think that being busy is really good. I actually don't think that that's the case. I've got a little bit of an aversion to that. I don't think that being busy is all it's hyped up to be. I really don't. Being busy is only good if you're consistently serving people in a respect of something that's in alignment with your purpose, I think. And, you know, it's interesting to consider about that, what one's purpose is. But as long as you're doing what you know, I don't know. I feel like that saying, you know, the idea is for you to like discover your purpose and then to give it away. I think that's really important. The purpose of life is to discover your purpose and then give it away. I really believe in that. Because it's when we start to engage with others and really help other people, that's when it really kind of comes into focus. Mercury, the mind. Okay, so we got some deep stuff to kick off with. Why did I think that this was going to be like a light reading? I don't know, I always kid myself with these. So okay, we've got depth of the mind with Mercury. We've got this active reverse state, so it's almost like this holding of the ephemeral. We've got Awaz, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Awaz. Paradox unfolds into symbiosis and pushes forward. So it is this kind of paradox where things are moving but not moving. It's almost like a psychedelic trip, which is interesting because we've got this card that looks like a psychedelic trip. And, you know, sometimes when you go on journeys or even like shamanic journeys, you're moving. You're going on a really deep voyage. But where are you going? You may not even be moving. So this is really interesting with this perception. And then what's really interesting is that this character that's here is only looking at the surface, but then it almost looks like this is a globe, and like this is land and the sea, and then you have this merry-go-round. So it's almost like we allow ourselves to stay on this little island, which is this merry-go-round, but actually there's this massive expanse that's there, which actually is the formation of her own shadow. It's a very interesting card, and it's very trippy, if I'm honest. Like, the whole reading is very trippy at the moment. Like, I'm just like, oh my god, where have I tapped into right now? But part one, it just seems like your guides are leading you to a sense of oneness and self-compassion that is urging you to merge with both your, to kind of escape this duality. It's almost like there's a splintering of the ego going on, because you're dealing with the Mercury and the mind. So it's almost like, you know, for you to go deeper, you have to be inactive. You have to quieten the mind. You have to allow yourself to go with the flow, not go against it. You know, in meditation, in the meditation that I practice, there's a beautiful picture of how, you know, one conquers the mind, and it's a monk, a monkey, and an elephant. And the monkey is the busyness of the mind. The monk is the person whose mind it is, and the elephant is the mind. These are the representations in this picture. And as you see these different stages on this kind of snake road, where kind of each stage that you get to, where you conquer the elephant, and then the monkey ends up disappearing, and then you end up, I don't know, it ends up turning into some kind of cloud or something. I don't know, or maybe the monkey's on a cloud. I can't remember. But anyway, I'll try and find it, and and I'll put it in my my community post. But what's really interesting here is, like, there's something about you mastering your mind in a different way that helps you to embrace a sense of compassion that's deeper with yourself. That's deep. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that at all. Spirit, what are you doing to me? Oh my gosh. Okay, right. Well, clearly this is the message that's coming out, so I don't know. I don't know. Love it, part one. Love it. Let's see what the tarot wants to say. I don't know, do I want a different deck? Something that's a bit more trippy, seeing as we're in the realm of the trippies. No, I'll stick with this one. Okay. We got the Three of Cups. Okay. The Lovers, nice. Four of Wands. That's slightly that way. No, okay, right. So, okay, right. So we've got the Three of Cups, the Lovers, the Three of Cups reversed, the Lovers, the Four of Wands reversed, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. Where are your guides leading you? I don't think that you've had really a good experience in being able to connect in that respect. Maybe spiritually or even emotionally. Maybe you've gone through something emotionally that's made you kind of detach a little bit and maybe want to connect with something that's a lot more deeper. much more in alignment with yourself. And that's because you want to strive for something that really makes you happy. You want to strive for something that helps you to feel better about yourself. And your guides want you to form better relationships. I'll be honest with you. I think your guides are also wanting you to strive for more than just like what may be perceived happiness. Because I don't know, there may have been some chasing of dreams going on that were maybe rooted in some kind of material or earthly aspect, which took you away from really realigning with yourself. You know, like when I was saying about being busy, you know, that whole thing about being busy. And I live in London, so gosh, you know, I know what it's like. And I used to work in the West End. So like it's kind of, I don't work in corporate, but I know people that do. And it's a rat race. It's a treadmill. You know, people just get on the treadmill, they chase the money. And there's an ideal that people are chasing as well. Like they're wanting something, they're wanting the money, they're wanting the security, they're wanting whatever. Not to say it's a bad thing, but it's I don't know, what's coming to mind is that thing, there's a guy called Peter Attia, who is a really good friend of Andrew Huberman, who does the Huberman Lab podcasts. They're really good. And he, in an interview, I think with Andrew Huberman or either with Diary of a CEO, Steve Bartlett, he said that he went to a friend's funeral, and in the funeral she was like, you know, she wasn't remembered for her achievements. She was remembered for how she was as a person to the people around her. So it's almost like, what are we chasing? What are we looking for? What are we going towards? Are we chasing a dream? Or are we looking for something deeper? I don't know, you may have been in a social group that prioritized material aspects, and now you're starting to realize that that isn't what you want. You want something deeper. You want something more intense. Something, or not even more intense, more meaningful. Honestly, I don't know, you've even got that far spiritually, but you might have done. I think the people that come to see my readings do have some kind of inclination towards that sense of spirituality. For those of you who are on that tip and do want to go deeper, then this is an urging for you to look at who it is that you're hanging out with and see whether or not that this environment is conducive to you being able to work towards what it is that you're interested in terms of the spirituality path. Because, or not even spiritual, deep thinking, philosophy, that kind of thing, because there's something deeper. I don't know if it's necessarily spiritual, because we haven't got the cards here that is necessary to say that it's spiritual. It's just really the Awaz card that's telling me that, which is this combination of understanding, you know, the difference between functioning within a duality and then being within, you know, being as one, but yet still being aware of the ego and what kind of role that plays, because it's not as simple as like thinking that we are all one when it comes to this kind of stuff that we have in the new age, you know. It's more about how do we understand ourselves within this reality, because that's where we are. We can't we can't spiritually bypass we can't spiritually bypass where we are right now. We're functioning in a world that really doesn't seem very friendly right now. It's pretty tough to live. And, you know, the majority of you that are watching this video will probably be in, you know, the first world. So we're quite lucky in that respect. But, you know, there's a big majority of the world that isn't in that isn't there. So it's almost like understanding that and understanding what role we play. And I think that that's what's happening. I think that there's an awareness that's arising here. And your guides are leading you to take something that's a lot higher. Rose quartz is almost on par with, like, I don't know, I had a beautiful lavender quartz that I remember that I gave to my dad. And that quartz is very highly attuned, and I'm getting the same kind of vibe from that. Even though it's not lavender quartz, I don't really work with rose quartz that much. But I don't know, now I can see why a lot of people do, because it's just so highly vibrational. It really does promote a sense of like self-love. And I don't know, maybe you're not giving yourself that self-love. Maybe there's this sense of you looking externally and doing things externally. Like when people think of self-care, they're thinking, oh yeah, I'll just go to the spa or whatever, or I'll just do whatever, or I'll like, you know, I'll go on a retreat, or I'll go to a sound bath, or I'll like take a holiday, you know, if you want to look at it in its most basic form. But there's something that's urging you to look a little bit deeper than that. So let's have a look at what it is, rather than me just kind of talking about it, because this is interesting. I'm curious. Let's have a look. 3 of Cups. Clarified by the 5 of Pentacles reversed. Let's put that there, actually. Then we have the Lovers. Sorry, then we have the Queen of Cups. And then we have the 2 of Cups. Okay, right. I honestly think that you might have been in a situation where you were with friends or with people that you weren't into, or something happened. And then now, because you've broken away, because you were quite unhappy within this situation, because you want something deeper. I don't know, there was something very kind of superficial here with this Knight of Pentacles and also this 7 of Cups and 4, like, it was just, it was like I do think it was like a social situation that may have perceived to have been like happy, but it wasn't. And then now, what's really interesting is that you're starting to move towards something a lot more enriching. Wow. Wow. So you go from the Knight of Pentacles towards the King of Pentacles. Okay, so even though like even for people where you're not romantically involved, I think that this will start to bring in the people that you are meant to kind of move towards. It feels like Spirit is moving you towards divine connections. And moving you into a space where you feel that you can take control. Beautiful. Knight of Cups reversed and the King of Wands reversed. Five of Wands. Seven of Wands. Death. It's really interesting. How does it show that? Is it showing it there? I don't know. Anyway, never mind. Just a bit weird. Sorry about that. The Hermit. Okay, yeah, this is telling you to go inwards. This is telling you to go inwards and find the light within. Because, I don't know, I feel like some of you have been doing work. You've been doing work. You've been doing stuff. I don't know what you've been doing, but you've been doing something. Because there's just something here with these, like it's almost like you've understood what the triggers are within your, you know, maybe your workplace or your social situation. I'm not sure, either one of the two, but it could also be to do with your partnerships as well. And I don't know, some of you may have found like the person that you really, you know, you feel that you're attuned to, and now you're starting to be like, right, okay, I really want to work through my triggers. It could also be that, you know, you really are removing yourself from a place where you have felt that you have not been appreciated nearly as much as you should have been. And you were actually settling for something a lot less. So, and now you're moving towards those relationships. It does seem like it's more so of something that is a one-on-one relationship as opposed to a group of people in terms of a community. Because you're looking for something quite like-minded. And I don't know, it's moving you towards more powerful, stable people. And when I mean powerful, I mean people who understand who they are. They've got a really good sense of who they are. You know, they're advanced at things that you want to be advanced at, which is knowing yourself in a really good way and being able to stabilize and balance yourself in a way that you really know. And I wouldn't even say control, but that you're comfortable with. Do you know what I mean? So that's where your guides are leading you, Pile 1. That's deep. 7 of Wands, you're overcoming battles where you weren't able to before. 5 of Wands reversed. You were actually like dumbed down. You were put into a place, this Knight of Cups, this King of Wands, this energy really kind of, you know, overpowered you in a way that you weren't able to connect to yourself. You may have had to put on another persona in order to do that. And now you're right. No, I have to, before I lose myself, I have to come back to myself. And that's where your guides are leading you. They're like, come back. Let's go back to the light. Let's take you back there, because that's where you need to go. And they're doing it very gently. They're not forcing you. Slowly things and obstacles are moving out of your space and your path in order to lead you there. Okay, we've got you some chakra cards. And look, success and self-confidence. Sacral chakra. I attract success into my life. I'm confident in the decisions that I make. I mean, I don't know. I think you might be a little bit scared about taking this decision because you're thinking about the material aspect of this. But that's catered for with the King of Pentacles here. If you are thinking about taking some time out from work in order to pursue this kind of like thing for yourself, don't be afraid. The universe will provide for you to be able to take that step, to be able to go further into that. It may even be that you may feel that you want to become an artist and you really want to indulge that. But none of your crowd previously really thought that it was anything, you know, these were all corporate bunnies. So like they didn't really think, this is just an example, but they didn't really think that this was something that was really that, you know, really that important. But actually it's something that really aligns with your soul. I don't know if it's actually something like art. It's more like either writing. It's something to do with the mind. So it could be, I feel like it's something to do with expanding your mind. So it could be like, yeah, writing a book or like creating something with the mind. You could be creating a course. You could be creating, yeah, I don't know, maybe script. You may be writing a play, something like that. But it feels like there's scribing going on here. And you need time alone to get on and do it. And it almost is like, it's almost like a novel or something like that. That's what it feels like. And I also sense that, you know, when you go on this, you'll be able to connect with people that are really powerful. As in, like, and I said that already, but like, I mean, I think like high status people. Before you know it, you know, you're like working with the top in the game. You know what I mean? Moonflower. Wow. Just to show you that card. It's utterly beautiful. Okay, Moonflower. I just have to look that up. I'm so sorry. Let me just check it out. So the affirmation for this card is, if I do things my own way, like I take my time to open. I take my time to open in my own way, in my own time, or I open in my own way and in my own time. And what's really interesting about the Moonflower is that it only opens between like late afternoon and night, and its blooms only last for like a day. So it's almost like this flower connects with going into the depths and the unknown, the lucidity, the liminal. So there's this sense of you doing whatever practice it is. So it could be even like lucid dreaming, dream journaling, shamanic journeying, astral travel, stuff like that. You could be doing something like that in order to like connect with these realms so that you can go deeper into this work. Because then that would match with the like active. It's because the active is reversed and we don't have passive. So it's not the reverse of active. It's actually just a lesser form of active, which means that it's not an overt sense of being active. It's more an underlying subconscious sense or subjective sense of being active, and how we can like do this thing with the mind that I like spoke about in terms of the meditation. So I think that's something to consider here. If you practice any kind of herbal magic that allows you to go into like any kind of states, altered states of consciousness, that's also something that I would advise here that might be quite useful for you. Because this is where this is all pointing. And what's really interesting is that you're being led by your day-to-day experiences. You're being led by, not just your day-to-day experiences, your interactions, your interpersonal reactions with people, the way your relationships are, because you've got so many people here. There's so many like knights and kings and queens here. Okay, so to close out the reading of where your spirit guides are leading you, I'm going to pick a crystal card which kind of connects the upper and lower realms together. Because I mean, I was looking at the context of your spirit guides, but I didn't put that in the title. So it could be like that your guides on earth are guiding you towards this space as well, because it could be in different dimensions. So you just never know. And for those of you that this reading might be a little bit esoteric, just look at it at the basic form. I tried to like bring it down in the respect of like, okay, if you're not on that level yet of where you're like astral traveling or whatever, do you know what I mean? Or shamanic journeying or whatever that is, right? To you, whatever you're doing, then look at it just on the basis of you thinking about something else and how you're going to connect with the true sense of, I don't like using the word soul because I don't know if we have a soul. So whatever you define your soul to be, or the thing that is like living within this meat suit that we have. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think that you'd be coming to this reading if you didn't think that there was more beyond that. So Wow. Power. Archangel Metatron and clear quartz. Wow. Power. Power, power, power. That is so beautiful. And you've got Metatron's cube as well here. So, what I get from that is that you've got something very, very powerful to tap into in order. And look at that with the quartz and the pink. You've got something very powerful to tap into here. Very powerful. Whether or not you're on the beginning of your journey in delving into these realms of you starting to access this kind of like part of yourself, or even if you are on a deeper part of your journey, wherever you are, something is guiding you towards listening to that part of yourself that allows that to expand. So what I mean by that is by you doing everything you can to encourage your growth in that area. And it's like a muscle. So, for example, if you want to expand in your skills in lucid dreaming, you have to practice lucid dreaming. If you want to become better in meditation, you need to put aside time to make sure that you meditate, you know. Do what you need to do to get better at it, you know. Take your time. But something is saying that you have to be on your own so that you can attract the right people into your life to help you with this. But ultimately, it's you. It's no one else. So that's where your guides are leading you right now. They're leading you towards this unification of self so that you can really be who you're meant to be, Pole 1. Profound reading. That was off the charts. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. That was just blinding. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, what an honour it was to do this reading for you. I really enjoyed it. I really hope you did too. Take care and yeah, all the best. Lots of love. And remember, honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 2, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose the blue Aragonite and this card here. Let's turn it over and see what it is. This is Ansuz, which is, it means either mouth or God. So it's really interesting actually that you got this card because it matches so beautifully with this blue Aragonite. Now, blue Aragonite gives you the opportunity to be able to communicate with your spirit guides and also help you to communicate with love and compassion in a way that is beneficial for all. And Suz means also, it can also mean not also the mouth of a river where everything is open towards the sea, but also there's a sense of that it is the scabbard of swords, so it contains the sword that can, you know, just as much as the words can absolutely annihilate someone, it's got the opportunity to be this opening that is something that's beautiful and really life-giving. So there's something about your words, Pile 2. There's something about your communication, your throat chakra. There's something about how you communicate your sense of purpose. That's very important for you, that your spirit guides are leading you to move towards. Now, this could be either singing, it could be speaking, public speaking, it could be you communicating more effectively, it could even be you listening, like more deeply to people. Now, one thing I didn't mention with Pile 1, but that was deep enough already, so, you know, I think they got enough anyway. There's something called the etirs, which are the spines or the kind of like pillars of the runes. And this particular Ansuz is in the first one, which is Freya's Atir, which means that it's to do with the sense of person and also to do with, like it's a more personal thing. It's almost like the first layer, like when I teach the the tarot, I do it in 3 kind of like stages, 3 layers. So then you have the first part of the journey, of the Fool's journey. So to me, this would be the first part, like the first, because obviously you have to get to the sense where you know thyself. And this is what is happening. It's seeming that you're starting to really value your voice and really understand what power you have within your voice. And that it actually, you know, once you connect to that, you really connect to the divine. So, what are pile 2's guides leading them towards? Let's have a look. The Vesica Pisces, and then we also have September moon. So 2 things I'm getting here. It's either that something was supposed to happen around about the time of September moon and it didn't, or there may be something happening around September moon that is reminiscent of what's going on now, or has something that did happen around that time that is important for your spirit guides, or for you to recognize that your spirit guides are trying to communicate towards you or to you. And the Vesica Pisces is the opening. It's the opening towards life, the opening towards the self. The idea that 2 cells come together and then they create the 3rd thing. The male and female, water and air, earth and fire, those elements, they come together and then they create the thing that is, they create something, whatever it is. And September is often a time of harvest, which is interesting. So maybe there was something that you needed to communicate and you weren't able to. Maybe you found out that you weren't able to communicate it at that time. And you realized that there was something that needed to be created first. Something that needed to be produced, you know, before you could step forward into this space. Now, just be aware that when we're talking about this, I am mainly talking about the spiritual stroke, liminal stroke, you know, subconscious arenas. I'm not really I mean, I don't know. It could manifest in the physical. It could be. It did with group 1 in a way. But I don't know, that these readings seem to be going a bit deeper because I'm referring to your guides. So these could be your guides, your earth, people on earth that are your guides, and also your spirit guides as well. So all of your guides, where are they leading you? Up the garden path? I don't know. So yeah, it depends. But I don't know, this is ultimately like, where are they leading you? Where are they taking you right now? You know, where is your current like leg of your path? And right now there's this communication opening up, helping you to, you may be giving birth to something, you know? You may be connecting with some kind of sense of fertility, so that you can give birth to this thing. Maybe you weren't able to give birth to it before. Maybe you were supposed to give birth to it and you didn't. And now you're actually starting to bring the elements of what you wanted together. And now you're starting to, you know, your guides are like, right, okay, we're going to lead you towards being able to communicate this to others. Let's have a look at what's your inner self saying? Okay, the seventh veil, emergence, transcendence, projection, reality, the world. Look at that. It was reversed. So yeah, there's something, it wasn't ready. It is late, so it might be me just yawning. I don't know. But it might be also to do with the energy. There is something that wasn't emerging at that time, and now it's starting to come through, starting to be communicated. Okay, so we've got I see Sagittarius. Oh my God. Right, okay, so we've got I see Sagittarius, and then we've got Gemini, I think. So the reason why I say that is because they're both the opposites of the astrological wheel. So I see Sagittarius, and I think Gemini. No, this is energy. It's not just me being tired. You're in a conflict. There's a conflict because with what you believe that you should do and what you think you should do. And you're trying to vocalize that. And your guides are trying to help you to find a voice in this space, because what they're actually showing you is that you need to merge these two things together. And what's really interesting is that Gemini, I think here Gemini is upright, so the Sagittarius I see, so it's almost like there's something that's not being seen here. Let's have a look with the tarot. We have the Ten of Swords reversed. We have the Magician reversed. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Ten of Pentacles. And we have the World. Okay, so you... Okay. So you've exited a situation which you may have been involved with that wasn't healthy for you. And you've actually managed to come out of that. You've managed to get away from it, to exit it, basically. But you haven't been able to communicate yourself at all. You haven't been able to say anything. I wouldn't be surprised if for some of you, and this might be quite specific, but for some of you this might have been like a narcissistic family dynamic, or even like work situation that you haven't been able to say anything. I'm feeling family more because we've got the Ten of Pentacles reversed here, but you walked away from it. And in fact, like you totally like transcended it in a way that they never thought that you would be able to. And I don't know, maybe part of you doesn't really believe that you actually did it. And your guides are saying to you that, and they're guiding you towards actually being able to vocalize this. Because you're over the worst of it. But there's still maybe some PTSD or something. There's still some kind of shock that's going on, and your guides are guiding you towards your voice and helping you to communicate this in a way that is going to be really healthy for you to basically transmute this into something. I don't know. The first thing I got was that you writing down your experiences to be able to, or maybe talking about your experiences to be able to like help others, maybe. But I don't know. You might not even feel ready yet. There may be a sense of vulnerability Because I don't even think, I think that you may be thinking about it, or maybe even just thinking about, you know, God, I wish no one would ever go through what I went through. But there's no way that I don't think you're even seeing that. But that is where your guides are guiding you. Nice, absolutely. Knight of Swords, Five of Wands, the Lovers. Wow. And I don't know if you can even see that. That's so cool. God, the bit where like I'm supposed to cover it up is actually on these cards, they're covered up. Because otherwise, you know, they have to be censored, so it's good. Can you even see it on there? No, you can't. Thank God for that. Okay, right. So we've got Justice as well. So yeah, there's definitely some kind of situation that you might have had to like take a quick exit. You might have just had to like bound out because it was such a intense situation. Some of you may have married out of it. You might have been able to, you know, get together with someone, and you know, that's really helped you to get out of that situation. Or you may have even like had some kind of, I would go as far to say as like maybe some kind of injunction against these people, so that you've been able to connect with yourself on a much deeper level, and allow yourself to return to yourself, because there's this real reuniting of self. These are all really beautiful readings, to be honest with you, because they're very empowering. These are beautiful places where your guides are leading you to, and I'm connecting to something very special here. I'm connecting to your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your earth angels, and it's a really beautiful thing. So there's something here about, you know, you being able to believe in yourself a little bit more, pile 2. To believe in the voice that you provide for others because of the experiences that you've gone through. It's been a really tough place. You know, I don't think you even ever believed that you were going to be happy. Look at that. Magician upright. 7 of Pentacles reversed. Wow, pile 1 and pile 2. You are turning this situation around for yourself. Absolutely. And I really don't think you believe that you can do it. Your guides are asking me to reassure you. Yes, look at that. The Lovers again. The Hanged One as well. They're asking you and urging you to just be patient and to really see yourself in a much better light than you have done previously, because they love you so much. They care for you, and they want you to know that they are by your side. Now, I'm not like trying to enforce any kind of religious, you know, things. I study all of them, you know. There's value in all of the religions, but there's just one thing, there's one story that kind of comes to mind here, and one that makes me cry, actually. It's really emotional. It's the one, Footsteps. I don't know if you've heard of it. You can just Google it, and it's the story about a man that, you know, is having a conversation with Jesus, and he says about, you know, the times in his life, and when he sees 2 sets of footsteps on a beach, you know, kind of walking on the beach of his life, and, you know, Jesus says that he was with him. And then in the hardest times of his life, he was on his own. And there was only 1 set of footsteps. So he thought he was on his own. And then that's when Jesus said to him, actually, that was when I carried you. I've completely butchered that story. So do go and read it, or just Google it. It's a beautiful poem. It's quite short. I think it's a psalm. I'm not sure. Please excuse me, because I'm I am a Catholic, but I'm not a religious Catholic, so I don't remember it outrightly. And the last time I heard it was when I was at school, very young, so many years ago. So seriously, like, go and check that out, because this is about that. This is about your spirit guides holding you, holding the container for you like this, to be able to, like, believe in yourself a little bit more, because there's a heavy veil on you at the moment. You really, there's something that is not allowing you to break out of this kind of thing, and you're due. Like, it's almost like this is, you know, you have to be born into this space, and you're ready to do this. But I don't know, I think maybe the kind of scars and effects from the past are stopping you from being able to really allow yourself to love yourself in a way that's really kind of congruent with who you truly are, rather than what you have had to be in order to survive through this situation. Let's have a look at some... Oh my god, no. You got the same one as pile 1. And look at the cards. Maybe I don't shuffle them properly, I don't know. Anyway, but here it's the sacral chakra. I'm confident in the decisions I make. I attract success into my life. Grab some carnelian, because carnelian is such a beautiful stone to work with. Funnily enough, I don't really have that much of it in terms of a sacral chakra. I should really have more of it. I have it in the form of jewelry, not in the form of an actual, like, crystal to have. But, like, yeah, get some carnelian, because it's such a powerful crystal to work with. And it helps you to really connect to the sensual side of you that allows you to create and connect with this, the voice. Then it will help you to see and manifest. Because another thing with September, as I said, like, it's this harvest. I don't know. I don't know if you believe that there's something about what you've been through, whether or not it really actually reaps any fruit. And if it does, do you really want to reap the fruit of what you've been through? But then there's this other thing. It's not as black and white as that. There's something else to move through, move towards. You know, the fruits are not as obvious as you think. And the thing is, right, Gemini, they're the thinkers. Even though they kind of, like, sometimes are a little bit, like, flighty or whatever, they're the thinkers. They're the investigators. They're the ones who like to question, who are inquisitive. You know, and this energy helps you to expand. And I think you feel like there's a danger in expanding. And your guides are saying to you, like, allow us to lead you there. Allow us to lead you into a place where you feel safe to be able to express yourself and to truly love yourself, so that you can be what you're meant to be. I hope this makes sense, pile 2, because I don't know what it's talking about. Anyway, wow. Love lies bleeding. There's the card. Okay, I don't know too much about these. These I need to look up, so I will just place that there, and then I will look it up and get back to you. This is pretty mind-blowing, because, like, this card, same like with pile 1. The mantra, or the affirmation with this card is, pain is temporary and only a part of the healing process. So it's Aramanth. Now, I play a lot of Zelda, so Aramanth is in that, but it don't look anything like that, so I don't know, like, really in the context. But, I mean, in that context, it means strength. So it means for you to actually have some kind of strength in a time where you feel that you haven't got that strength. And then we've got Earth. Saturn and Mars, and these are supposed to be red. So love lies bleeding, and also magically it's supposed to stop bleeding. It's also meant to be communication with the dead. So I don't know, like, it feels that you've got connections with, you may, I don't know, you may have connections opening up to you that are mediumship based. So maybe that's something to explore with this. We do have death here. We have the Magician coming up twice. You have some powerful cards here, and we also have the Hanged One here. So there may be some kind of, you know, and also with the Vesica Pisces, there's a gateway, there's an opening, there's something happening about communication towards something. You either getting your voice out there and you being able to transmute this experience into something that is going to be really beneficial for others, because you've been through a lot of pain. But there is something about this that is going to urge you to move towards creating something. You may even be a singer. You may even sing songs. You may even do like music or whatever. But I don't know. There's something here to do with communicating the transmutation of this painful situation that you've been in, so that you can help heal yourself and others. Okay, one last card to kind of fuse the guides' words and yours together and see how that manifests. Wow. Rare success. We've got the goddess Jiwang. Is it Ji? Yeah, I think you say Jiwang Mu, and stromatolite. Rare success. Yeah, I think you've got a bit of a destiny, pile too. Your spirit, your guides are leading you towards this destiny for you to like make this happen, because this is something very special because of what you've been through. You know, and that's why Ansuz is kind of like speaking to you to kind of like go back to this truth of self. And also the Vesica Pisces is very, you know, it's like along those lines within that first kind of like atir of the, you know, there's a resonance there. The Vesica Pisces is like, you know, the third principle in a way. So it's the two that come together. This is also as well, I don't know, I also get reminded, this is the same as the fish in Christ, you know, when the story of the loaves and the fish. I don't know if you know about that. Go and Google that. There's a lot of stuff to do with Christ here. I don't know what's going on. So maybe that's also another ascended master that you might need to investigate, just as you would the Buddha or whatever. But I don't know. Jesus is kind of coming up here. Or just the you know, stories to do with that. I'm getting that a lot. And you don't have to be religious. This is not a religious thing at all. It's just I happen to know a bit about him. So like he's the one, because I was a Catholic. So, you know, I just think I'm just getting reminders here. But obviously we've got Norse mythology, we've got astrology, we've got everything here. So it's not just to that. But these are just things to kind of like look at, and also look at the Aramanth, stromatolite as well. Stromatolite's a very interesting stone. Again, it's also to do with like Christianity. So there's something here, pile 2. There's something here, and even if you're not, you know, as I said, just maybe see what the resonance is for you. But you're supposed to be doing something very big and communicating it. Whether or not you're supposed to be seen is a different matter. I don't know. But there's something you're meant to be doing with your voice. So that's where your guides are leading you right now, and trust it, because that's where your strength will be. and it will allow you to come back home to yourself. Pile 2, what an honor it was to do this reading for you. God, this is just such an amazing reading. I didn't anticipate how beautiful it was going to be. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care. Have a beautiful evening, day, morning, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 3, hello and welcome to your reading. So, where are your guides leading you? You chose the Topaz stone, and already Topaz is a stone of resilience. It is a stone that is known to have and is used in jewellery. It's a very prized stone in the respect of the higher grades of it. You know, it's a precious stone, not a semi-precious stone. So what I'm getting here is like there's a recognition that there is a calling here. There's a gravitas that's being held. Even though this particular stone, there's an inclusion in it. And my own attitude to this stone hasn't been one that I've really valued. So maybe there's something there about, you know, your spirit guides urging you to look at the value of something, even though it may not seem that way. It may not seem very valuable. It actually, there's a message there. There's something there for you to take. There's medicine there. This is algiz. Just make sure I'm pronouncing that right. Algiz, yeah. Algiz, and it means elk. Now, this particular rune is indicative of the walker between the worlds. So it's understanding that there is this boundary that's being broken. One foot in one world, one foot in the other. And there's almost like an understanding that where you are right now, you're being led on a path that takes you within these realms. To a certain extent, all of the groups have, but you more so, because, or not even more so, but you're actually, this is in the middle line. In the runes, they have 3 like lines of which the runes inhabit, and this is the central line, which is to do, it's the Heimdall line, the Heimdall Atir, the 3 Atirs, and I don't know in depth about what Heimdall is exactly, but what I do know is that it's to do with the transformation of self. So it's almost that step into that phase. The third one is being like kind of like the last phase, the first one being Freya's phase, and this one being like the kind of intermediary. So there's this sense of transformation that's going on, and I don't know, I feel like with the Topaz, there's this sense of you understanding what your true power is and your calling. So your soul, your guides are beckoning you to look towards that path and understand that you have one foot in one and one foot in the other, and to be respectful of that. Like to acknowledge it is to respect it, basically. These readings are deep, man. They're deep. They're deep. Oh, God, my heart. Anyway. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay. Scorpio. I love that. Eartha Kitt is there. That's great. Sexaloda. So nice. Okay. So this is deep anyway. Wow, Yod, destiny. Okay, so you, I don't know, you may be denying this. You may be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to partake in these activities, thanks. It's a bit too much. But it's actually really important that you do step onto this path and that you do take this forward. It's actually, there's a sense of duty here. The third shadow, the monoliths, oh my God. The sundial, ancestors, historical cycles. Wow. You're breaking something here. Oh gosh, this is really heavy. So not heavy in a bad sense. It's heavy as in like, I feel like I've just taken a load of, I don't know, something that's put me into this liminal space. And I mean, I'm quite adept at being able to like traverse between those spaces, but coupled with the time that I'm doing this as well, these readings always seem to come out at night, so it's just interesting. So there's something about you taking responsibility for this, because I think that you might already know that there is something that's unusual about what your guides are telling you to do. It may not be something that you are. Now, I do advise anyway, like strongly, that you really understand, you know, what it is your guides are asking you for, you know, and really knowing who your guides are, because just like with any, you know, even in the 3D reality, you know, we can't always vouch for the authenticity and also the fact that our guides are really out there for us, you know. And this could be like just with people generally, you know, not every person out there has your best interests at heart. So it's really important for you to like make sure that you know who you're listening to, because there's something very strong about you. You've got intense psychic power here. There's big psychic power here. Scorpio, Algiz, I think it's Algiz. I keep on forgetting what it is. Yeah, Algiz. Yod being reversed. You know, this is, I wouldn't be surprised if whatever energy, you know, your guides are leading you towards your destiny. But it's almost like, I do see a bit of like Frodo in the ring, you know, because, you know, he has this ring and he's got a choice. He can either keep the ring and he can either have it and have all the power, or he can destroy the ring, which is actually the duty of him to do. So there's a bit of that. There's a bit of that. It's almost like you've really got an opportunity to be able to, like, you know, you've got a lot of power, but you've also got a lot of responsibility with that power. Pile 3. Wow, I didn't expect that. Wow, the other two were really like, well, they weren't. It's not to say that, but this is the one where it's like, it's quite deep. I mean, they all are deep, but this one is kind of like, there's a real gravitas to this reading, pile 3. I don't know, you've got like some kind of destiny in your hands with this, and this is like, with that being reversed as well, you know, it's almost like the battle between good and evil. That's why I use the analogy of the ring, because it is that epic. Right, okay, so okay. Wow. Okay, so what I'm getting here, hold on, bear with me. Just need to do this because of YouTube. What I'm getting here is that you may not have been stable, and you might have found it difficult to be in certain places, but you may be an entrepreneur. You may be somebody who's been able to make it out on your own. You've not been really that good with being able to work with people. In fact, working with people a little bit kind of destabilizes you. You're very much a solopreneur. Like, I feel like you're someone who does their own thing. And if you do work within a company and within an establishment, you are the CEO. I think you're like the lead. But what I am getting here, just remember what stone this is. This is, I think, God, I wish I remembered what stone that is, but that is a really special stone. So, I don't know. Along the lines of, I think it's some kind of meteorite. So it's really interesting because I think you understand that you want something, that you know that something more exists outside of these realms, that is actually outside of the space where you've managed to make it manifest on a material level. I honestly do think that you might be at the top of your game in the respect of what you do. Yeah, I think you might be people who, you know, you work in corporations, or you are people that have made like yourself financially, or you're quite financially abundant. I would go as far to say that it may be at the expense of others. It may be, but you still have good values instilled, because the King of Pentacles is upright. So you've managed to, I don't know, it's maybe a bit cutthroat as opposed to like, and ruthless. And you do know, you do need those aspects to kind of get far in business. It's not, you know, it's not something that would be on the agenda to be a nurse, being cutthroat, but it depends. Like if you want to be, I know that managers within medical corporations or medical kind of establishments, there's almost like a hierarchy that needs to be fulfilled there. So it comes with the territory in terms of like moving up within a system, and it seems like you have navigated the system really well. You've navigated it really well, but you know that you know that this is beyond. And you're faced with a choice. You're faced with a choice, pile 3. You either take the ring and destroy it, or you either put it on and you keep it for yourself. That's exactly what's going on. Oh, pile 3. Oh my God. Queen of Pentacles reversed. Queen of Pentacles reversed, Queen of Cups upright. So your psychic powers are off the charts, but your ability to be able to, your relationship with others may not be the same. I don't think your relationship with others, other human beings, are really, you know, they could be much better than they are currently. Or there's only certain types of people that you seem to connect with. But I don't know. Let me just see what that is. Oh, sorry. Oh, damn. Sorry. Bear we go. Bit of forest agate. There we go. I forget. That's why I don't use this deck that often. There's stuff there. But yeah, there's a sense of I don't know, you may have had like tough parents. And they didn't show you kind of the interpersonal kind of skills that you had. But I think there has been someone who has been quite kind to you that's shown something that helps you to connect with your psychic potential more than you have been able to. Judgment reversed. Yeah, there was a lesson that you needed to listen to, that you didn't. But that's okay. I don't think you could at the time. One thing I do get is that your guides are telling me that this is exactly what's supposed to happen right now. Like the path is the destiny. So it's fine. This is just a snapshot of your possibility of journey, because when I first looked at this and I read that Algiz, I keep on forgetting it. Yeah, Algiz. When I looked at that, the first thing that came to me was that the map is not the territory. The map is not the territory. So what you think you know and what you think is there is not actually what is there. So I think that that's really important to remember. So what you think you know about something is not what you know. So what you think about other people is not what it is. What you think about your past is not what it is. It's not. Particularly with that here. And that's what because this commands a respect that you know your place within this space. That you are not, you may be the king in this domain, but you are not the king in the overall domain. Does that make sense? So it's very much of you understanding that you are this speck of dust in this expansive universe. That is just a blip on the timeline of time. You know, it's really understanding that. Because there's something about ego here that needs to be that is going to need to be like gone, and with judgment reversed, this dissolution of ego has not happened yet, and this leading into this space will help you towards that. And that is why the world is reversed, because you know that what you've achieved here in this reality actually doesn't mean as much as it would do if you were to kind of conquer yourself. What's that saying? He who conquers others, I don't know how it goes. Something like he who conquers others, it's a lesser form, but he who conquers himself, you know, is almost enlightened. There's something, some of that degree. I don't know what the saying is, but like it's something to that. So there's something about bringing it into oneself and understanding oneself more so, rather than conquering people, because it seems to me like you have conquered people. Like you do that no problem. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. We've got a Temperance, and then we've got the Three of Swords reversed. The High Priestess reversed, yeah, that makes sense. The Nine of Swords reversed, interesting, pile 3. And the Emperor, of course. My Dominator's pile 3. That's why I'm laughing, because you're just You're my dominators. Your guides are asking you to walk towards your intuition, because the first thing that I'm being drawn to here is this sun, or this kind of source of light, and then I see these mountains. So there's something that's pushing you towards a sense of enlightenment, or a sense of like transcending this sense of the ego. And also with the High Priestess reversed, I don't know, there's something about you needing to change your approach. I'm going to say it again, the map is not the territory. What you believe is the way is not the way. I'm getting that really clearly from your guides. Really clearly. Like it's almost like they're hammering it into me. Like, yeah, there's ego to be broken here. Bloodstone and Jasper, Bumblebee, Jasper. Okay. Heart chakra, solar plexus chakra. Honesty, celebration. I'll just read this, sorry. So it says, I choose to be honest with myself and others. I allow myself to celebrate each of my victories. Okay, so what I get from this is that every time you achieve something, it's not just a stepping stone to get somewhere. It's almost like you have to really savor and celebrate those things for what they are. And then you've also got Bloodstone here with Heart Chakra. I am flexible and I practice patience with Bloodstone. So that's integrity. That's understanding the truth of the integrity of what you do. You know, not just stepping over people to get somewhere. Pile 3. Because you've got a brilliance and a clarity and something very important here. You've got a really powerful skill. A really powerful skill. But there's something going amiss here. Which means to me that you know, coming to yourself and being able to gain clarity. That's why we've got the inclusion here. And the reason why I've disliked this stone so much is because we've got the inclusion. But you know what as well? It's got like this gorgeous flashes inside. So what that says to me is that, you know, there's a flaw there. And that flaw needs to be addressed. Like, you need to recognize that that is there. It's part of this bit here. It's part of the yin and the yang, the part of you walking this destiny, this thing. And there is a disconnection between the intuition. There's a rushing into a space in order to avoid any kind of pain. And in the end, I don't know, I feel like you stamp upon your own intuition because you feel like you've got better things to do. That's what it feels like. Pile 3. And then what kills it is that you know you've got this power, but there's, for some reason, you're not using it. Wolfsbane, look at that. Right, okay, so Wolfbane, wow. And we've got all the runes there. I'm telling you, right, pile, and you got it reversed. Pile 3, you are powerful. You are my power pile, for sure. But what are you doing with this power, I ask? What are you doing? Why are you doing what you're doing currently? So the affirmation for Wolfsbane is, I'm a spiritual warrior. Okay, I see what's going on. And it's interesting because it actually is in alignment with this rune. So I don't know. I think you might be running away from an integral part of yourself, pile 3. There may be some healing that you need to do, and you may be too scared to go towards it because you don't know that there's a deep fear behind it, whether or not you want to go forward with it. Because it seems a lot easier for you to stay in the 3D reality. It seems a lot easier for you to stay in the daylight than it is to like go into the night, even though you know that other space you're very good at. I wouldn't be surprised if your dreams like are absolutely chock-a-block full, or maybe you end up going into experiences or doing things, altered states of consciousness, whatever it is. I think you do traverse those realms on a regular basis. Hey, you may even be involved in some kind of like spiritual kind of work. Honestly, I don't see that, because you've got the High Priestess reversed. You've got other intuitive cards that are reversed. The only one that's actually upright is the Queen of Cups. But the Queen of Cups is still a queen in terms of like in this reality. If you want to move beyond that, you're looking at the High Priestess. And the World is also reversed. And Judgment was also reversed. So there's something about you denying this part of yourself. I don't know, maybe even your ancestors are even talking to you. You may even have mediumship skills. But you might not be embracing it. There may be a part of that. And if you do, right, because I know a lot of my audience do, if you do, there's still something that's being denied. There is. Full stop. There is. Wolfsbane, reversed. This destiny is reversed. I mean, these two cards pretty much mean destiny. They're both reversed. There's a denial of taking responsibility for what you should do. It's Hamlet. It's Hamlet, Lion King, whatever the context you want to put it in. It's that running away from one's destiny because you've got the power. You really do have the power, pile 3. It's quite intense. You know you have the power as well. That's what kills it. You know you do. So your guides are guiding you towards whether or not you like it or not. You're going to have to take responsibility for it eventually. Maybe not in this lifetime, but maybe in others. We'll see. So you either decide to go with it now or at least make some steps towards it. You may not be able to in this lifetime. You may not be able to. But it runs so deep that you're being faced with it. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like it's come from so deep. And it's almost like, okay, now you're being confronted with the role of cycle breaker. Do you choose to take it? Your mission, if you choose to take it. Okay, rest. We've got Archangel Remiel and Aragonite. Okay, rest. So what I get from this, pile 3, is there is a need for you to consolidate and understand your space, you know, understand where you are, because I do think there may be a bit of like, similar like with pile 2, I think, you know, a bit of like just busyness and avoidance in that respect. Because I think, you know, and also another thing as well, like you can't force that side either. You know, that's another thing. You have to be patient with it, and you have to be compassionate with yourself to be able to receive those things and to be able to traverse those realms. You can't force those things. Absolutely not. Take it from someone who's tried and then everything shuts down. You know, you try to force it and it's like, no, I'm not gonna let you bully me into any kind of space where I'm, you know, you can't force that side of you. You have to let it come. It's like the sea, it's like water. And you have to understand how to control that. So this is mastery. And I will come back to this analogy of the ring, you know, even though, like, you know, Frodo had the ring, nobody else could take the ring apart from Frodo. Nobody else could carry that ring and that burden, you know, but it meant that he had that power. So how do you manage that? And that's where your guides are guiding you. They're guiding you to look at that, to be curious about it, and to accept the responsibility of it. Pile 3, gosh, I'm going to end your reading there because it's deep. But I hope you enjoyed it. What an honor it is to read for you. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, good luck. Good luck with this. It's an incredible responsibility. And I know people that have been on this road. It's not easy, but hey, it's our destiny. We do what we do. Take care, my loves. And remember, honesty is always key.